Welcome, kings and queens, to another episode of Unapologetic, your number one podcast. This is the show where kings and queens tell their legacies and on. So get ready for the gems to drop and pull up to the table because we're ready. What's going on, everybody? We are back with another one, man. It's your favorite host, Melly Mel, right here on yours truly, Unapologetic, your number one podcast. Yeah, man, we've been busy. I know it's been a little minute since we actually had a great conversation. I think the last one we was here for was the one and only founder of D-Rizza Productions, Miss Derrica Woods. That was a great interview. I've been trying to get this brother on the show. I've been hit and missing, man. It's been my fault. I gotta get better organized. But so many blessings been coming thanks to you all, man. All the shares, the likes, the comments, man. Even some of the fan mail I've been getting. I appreciate it. So, another further ado, we have another great mindset that has been blessed, to come on the show, agreed to come on the show. We got the one and only Drake Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, a real estate agent and also an entrepreneur, man. So I've been running into a lot of real estate agents, man, but I noticed I'm learning like different mindsets from each person, their own ways, their own how they do their own business is crazy. And I learned a lot from each person, but this brother here has really made his mark, man, from helping kids to, man, you know what? I'm just going to let him get into it. But no further ado, man, please welcome Drake, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. I just want to thank you for having me on here and just sharing my experience with both Muskegon and West Michigan in general and business and entrepreneurship.
Okay.
But yeah, my little niche, I would say, in real estate is educating and teaching people about real estate rather than just trying to sell them on something. I'd rather educate somebody on whether they need it, why they need it, and you know what I mean, the background of, you know what I mean, why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
So you give that bridge to your clientele as soon as look, this is not just the sale. I want you to understand what you're getting into.
Yeah, because I kind of I don't like the term like real estate salesperson because I don't really look at it as sales. I look at it more of like relationship building a relationship with somebody rather than just trying to sell them on something. Because the house that they're gonna be in is gonna be 30 years. Usually people stay in their house for 5 to 7 years, but it's a 30-year mortgage. You know what I mean? So it's a long-term commitment. So
Gotcha. You guys
it's a house that they might even have me over for a barbecue or a Super Bowl party, you know what I mean? And I don't want them calling me 3 months later, like, look, the plumbing went out, the basement flooded, the roof ain't bad, you know what I mean? So I try to do things right the first time, you know what I mean? Not just try to get a fast one over on people.
Man, that's what's up, man. It's good to hear that you have that passion to help people instead of seeing just a dollar sign. And I think that's what, in today's society that we see more and more often, like people trying to get the bag, but then kind of hurt it. Well, not kind of, it hurts themselves. They hurt themselves because now people really see how you are. So, that pushes people away. Like, you just want my money.
Yeah, your reputation is the biggest thing in business, not just with real estate, but any business. Your reputation is everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true, man. But I wanted to like really tap into, how did you like what's the background of Drake? Because a lot of times people say, well, I'm a real estate agent, and they each give uh their own perspective of, what's you already gave a piece of yours, but as far as like community based wise, man, what made you really get into that?
So you asked a couple questions there. I'll start off with like the background. As little as like when I was in elementary school, my dream job was to go to Ohio State for some odd reason. Everybody like Michigan and Michigan State, so I was like, I'm gonna do Ohio. I'm gonna just do Ohio State. I don't care what y'all say. I'm gonna just do Ohio. So I wanted to go to Ohio State and be an architect. That was my dream job as a kid.
Wow.
Fast forward to high school. I played basketball and football, and then once it was junior and senior year, I started working. I stopped playing sports and I started working. I had so many different jobs, but I ended up landing on having a shoe store. And that started by just cleaning shoes just from home, living with my mom. I used to clean shoes my senior year. And then I started buying and selling shoes. and then it just kept upgrading and upgrading. We went to it's MySpace storage place on Getty Street, right across from Getty Street Grill. We got a
Oh,
space in
okay.
there. It was me, my friend Ali, Langston, and then Javante. What is his last name? Javante Brown. So us three went in there. We was cleaning shoes. Well, I was mainly cleaning shoes. Ali was doing like jean jackets and customization and stuff like that. And
Okay.
then Chubbs was Javante. He was cleaning shoes and customizing shoes too. And Ali was customizing shoes too. So fast forward a little bit more. We Chubbs kind of had dropped out of the race and started focusing on school for business. He was going to MCC at the time. So it's just me and
Okay.
Ali. And then we ended up opening a store in Lakes Mall, and it's still there now. I don't own it at all, just Ali does. But the reason why is because we both started the store together. I want to say in 2020, about 4 years ago now. But
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
seems like it was just last year. But we started it together. I want to say 6 to 8 months down the road, I started saving up on the side and doing my own thing. And
Okay.
then I ended up kind of just jumping over to Grand Rapids, and I opened my own store at Rivertown Mall. Um, and that was kind of cool. That was fun. And then after that, I want to say another 6 to 8 months later, I opened a second store over by Detroit in Ann Arbor. That one didn't last long. I closed it
Okay.
probably after 6 months just because I didn't know the market and the rent was high. It was like I was stretching myself out trying to hire employees, firing
Right.
employees. And then we opened right when all the college students was leaving. You know what I mean? So it was kind
Ah,
of
so you
tough.
didn't get that
Yeah.
good bun rush of people. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So and
currently,
then we opened around, I want to say May, and that's literally the month that the college students started leaving, and we closed I want to say maybe 2 or 3 weeks before Black Friday. So it didn't last too long. And I
wow.
ended up having the one in Rivertown for 3 years. So that one was a lot more stable. I kind of knew the market. I grew up going to Rivertown Mall. Like that's what we do when we're from Muskegon. Like going to Grand Rapids
Right.
is like
Yeah,
we going to
yeah,
Detroit, you know what I
yeah.
mean? So
That's
I grew
true.
up going to Rivertown. I kind of knew that market better. So yeah, that's kind of like a little background. And then in August, just of last year, I want to say 6 or 7 months ago, I ended up closing down both stores and focusing on real estate. I kind of
Wow.
skipped the part in there where when I first graduated high school, I was either gonna go to school for business or I was gonna go to school for business or get my real estate license. So I ended up starting to do
Oh,
both.
okay,
But then
okay.
the shoes took off and I dropped out of college and I forgot about the real estate stuff. So now that I closed the store, I'm going back to real estate. You know what I mean? That's originally what I want to do was do anything with houses, whether it was construction, designing them, selling them. You know what I mean? So
Wow. So
it
so
kind of
yeah, so that makes sense. So you
yeah,
always been type of a building or a community building type of mindset. Like,
yep.
okay, that's crazy, man. I never really thought nobody would just want to grow up to build houses. I mean, yes, there's a market and people do it, but man, that's a lot of time and math that people don't want to really deal with a lot of schooling and stuff like that nowadays. But to hear
Yeah.
you, say, man, it's whatever I was going to get into, it was going to be dealing with some type of real estate. So that's what's up. That's what's up.
I
So
mean, there
you
is
know the
some like
real.
in-depth stuff that like school can teach you, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, business is, you know what I mean, sell something for or buy something for $1 and sell it for $2, you know what I mean? And
Exactly.
it's just you know what I mean? It comes down to just making money at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Do what you can to stay afloat, but have the right intentions. If you have the right intentions, the money will be a byproduct of that.
Okay, I like that. Man, you should, man. You sound like you about 40 or 50, man. Like you've been around the block a few times. I love the mindset, man. I want can you so I'm thinking too fast. I got excited. So you're now currently with Five Star, correct?
Yep, I decided to join a team actually. So there's
Okay.
brokerages like Remax, Five Star, Coldwell Banker, I believe it is. So those are all brokerages, but then you can be on a team within that brokerage. And the reason you're on a
Hmm.
team from the broker's perspective
Yeah.
is so that that way they can teach you, you know what I mean, and I'll actually make a little bit of money off of what you do. You know what I mean? So for
Okay.
example, if commission
So
on the
it's
house
like a
is
commission.
3,000, you said what?
It's like a commission.
Yeah. Essentially, they get a cut of what you make, but in exchange, you get a lot of experience and their knowledge and their contacts. Like they know builders, carpenters, like all that types of stuff, and you
Oh
get their
yeah.
contacts, you get their knowledge. So I decided to join a team. I'm on the Terry Puffer team. So I decided to join a team to kind of get my hand held. You know what I mean? Because real estate is a business where if you don't sell anything, you don't make any money. Like the first couple months that I was doing this, I didn't get a check and I wasn't working a job either. You know what I mean? So I just had to live off of my savings and not make a dollar. I
Wow.
kind of compare it to being a barber. If you like if you go to Rail Shop in Lakes Mall and you're like, hey Rail, let me get a chair. He's like, yeah, sure, it's $400 a month, but you don't have no clients. You're still paying that $400, but you're not making no
Yeah.
money.
That's a good point right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long did that discourage you? Because a lot of times, people get to do their own thing, they get into these positions and then they get discouraged because they're not their expectations, they feel like they should be booming, booming, but it may take a little bit longer to get to that expectation. So did that discourage you anytime?
Yeah, it definitely discouraged me. But what I don't know how to kind of explain it because watching me do what I do and then trying to replicate it, it can be kind of discouraging because in a sense that I'm kind of crazy. Like I don't mind going back to zero. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Okay,
mind like losing everything because I don't have kids. I don't have a family to take care of. You know what I mean? So it's kind of different for other people. But
of
like
course.
it was definitely discouraging, but not to the extent it would be for most people where it's like I gotta feed my kids, I got rent to pay, you know what I mean, and all this and that. But it was definitely discouraging.
Oh man. So what school or how did you begin this? What sort of program did you do to even start your real estate classes? Because when I read into it, man, that's a lot of stuff in
Yeah, I
just
mean,
a few
that's why
months.
the internet can be good and it can be bad. It can overcomplicate things because getting your real estate license is actually the easy part. Getting the clients and making money and staying in the business long term is the hard part.
Mm,
Because getting your license is a 40-hour course. You can take it literally through almost anywhere. I did it on Holloway Institute. It costs 340 or $350, and then another $50 for like a study exam package or whatever. And it's 40 hours. So literally, if you do 2 hours a day, you're done in 20 days.
mm. Dang, I
Yeah,
didn't know that. I thought it
it's
was
as
like a
easy as that.
6 month, maybe a year program. You got to do all
Nope.
these tests.
I mean, I might caution that with you don't learn a lot of stuff that you should. Like you don't learn literally about houses. You learn about the paperwork, how people can't get screwed over, like refrigerated, like appliances, for example. Those need to be in the contract if
Right,
you're selling the house, if it comes with the house. Because if it's not in the contract and it's there when you go see it and you think it comes with it, and then it's not there when you move in, you're gonna be mad. You know what I mean? So it's
right,
little
right,
stuff
right,
like that we learn like in easements, like if there's a shared driveway for houses, who actually owns the driveway and all that legal stuff. But like types of flooring, types of countertops, cabinets, how
right.
old a roof is, like just by looking at it, like how old is that roof? It's probably 5, 10 years. We don't learn none of that. So that's all either YouTube University or learning from a team. That's one of the reasons why I joined the team. You know what I mean? Because the person I'm under has been doing this for 5 to 10 years, and he does flips, he does rentals, and all that kinds of stuff. So he knows a lot about houses. And I just go to him like, hey, I'll take a picture of everything in the house. How old does this roof look? Does this foundation look good? Why or why not? And try to, you know what I mean, figure it out for myself so I know
Right.
how to determine that on my own.
Wow, man, I'm learning a lot. I'm taking notes. So for a first time home buyer,
Mhm.
what advice would you give me? Like let's say I'm searching for a house and I see maybe there's maybe a few cracks on the steps on the foundation, or the house just looks kind of old
As a
run
first
down a
time
little
home
bit.
buyer, I wouldn't try to diagnose anything myself because I would look to the professionals, and the way you would find a professional is find somebody that has a good reputation, somebody that's been doing it for at least 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I would look to a professional if I'm a first time home buyer and I'm looking for structural problems or roofing or siding and stuff like that. But when it comes to the financial part of the advice, I would say it's really simple. It's just credit, income, savings, and your current debt situation. We talk like real estate agents talk a lot about debt to income ratio, and that's just your monthly debt versus your income. If you got a $500 car payment and you're making $2,000 a month, That's a 25% debt to income ratio.
Right.
You want to be under 40% when you're buying a house. So if that was the case, you know what I mean, and you're at a 25% debt to income ratio already with just your car, you only got 15% of your income for a mortgage, which isn't going to happen because 15% of 2,000 is what? A couple $100?
Yeah. A few hundred.
So
yeah, you're
yeah.
already in a, yeah, that make, dang, that's that, woo, that's fast, bro.